I'm here with Michelle Arntz, your workforce MD with Strategic Talent RX, and I've got a question about trust. So, how can experienced business owners increase the level of trust within their teams since it's super important, again, for them to be able to trust the people that work for them in order to, optimize their business?
100% great question and really timely. Like trust is the underpinning of everything going on. Can I trust that you've got my back? Can I trust that we're going to do the right things? And trust in leadership isn't always that strong, especially if leaders aren't exactly behaving in trustworthy ways. So, the old saying, walk the walk, talk the talk, it starts there. It's what I call model the way. Are you acting like a trustworthy person as the leader? Everybody's looking at you. So, are you saying and doing things that build trust? Do you keep your word? Because we all know what the dissonance is when somebody says one thing but does it completely differently, right? Like that's never going to fly. So being very clear about those things and talking about them and acting on them regularly, and showing that you trust. It's a reciprocal thing. Are you trusting your employees? Because if you don't trust if you're going to hire people and then you're going to stand over them and micromanage them, you're not showing any trust at all. So, and people will rise or fall to that kind of, that standard, right? So, are you being trusting? Are you trustworthy? And are you showing trust? And are you setting people up to be in environments where trust can take place? So, being very clear about what it looks like, sounds like, feels like, modeling it is very, very important, and giving people opportunities to show that they can be trusted and that you can be trusted. There's a lot of activities that can be done around that. We don't make assumptions, be very clear. Because trust is eroded when we think we know what it is, but we never really ask what's going on.
Yeah, and again, if we go back to the idea of a business owner who's prepping their business to transition out of, this
Yeah,
is a huge piece, right? Because if the owner makes every decision, they've pretty much conveyed that they don't trust the people.
right.
And what kind of impact does that have on the employees?
Well, first of all, how exhausting is that? Right? Like, so you're the bottleneck for everything. You're wearing all the hats and you're the go-to. Like, no wonder you feel like everything's on fire. It's very, very stressful for the leader, which I'm sure is making them kind of cranky. And that spills over into what's happening with the employees as they sit there and watch you take everything on. Well, why am I even here? Right? Like, I'm sure some employees are like, well, what was I hired for if you're not going to let me do what you brought me in here to do? Or if you're not going to develop me and let me grow into spaces where I can do more for you. I think most employees want to do right by their employer. They also want their employer to do right by them. It's that reciprocal, mutual relationship, right? But it's very damaging to have leaders who won't let go and won't create the space for that to happen. And and again, I'm just back to stress and exhaustion for the leader. It's in your best interest to find ways to trust enough to hand things over.
Awesome. Thanks for taking a big run at how important trust is in a
Love
business
it.
of any size.
Absolutely.